Yes. Kurston, very happy to have you joining here today. Do you want to shed a little light on who you are and what the business is that you're working with?
Absolutely. So again, my name is Kurston and I own and operate. I'm the founder of Bounce Back Financial, where we have made a unique approach to the healthcare space, where we provide medical billing services and also accounting services for our customers. In addition to that, we do CFO advisory services, and that's where the game changer is, and that's where the partnership with Uplink comes in.
Full, beautiful. And so there's a big focus on your side around the behavioral health side. Why choose that space? What was it about that space that really drew you into wanting to make the difference that you are?
Well, it's personal for me. Oldest son is 12, he turns 13 this year, and he is on the spectrum. And so I started in this business on the medical billing side, and it just gave me a passion for helping those clinic owners lead to sustainability. And over again, I saw many times where payroll panic is coming, right? And we're having capital timing risks. And ultimately, it leads to a lot of frustration and psychological issues, right? And ultimately, just a lot of tension and absorbing that tension, it's a lot. And so ultimately, it gave me the heart to continue my education, learn the finance part. And so I partner with the CPA and we provide CFO services to ensure that we have behavior analysts that can take care of those kids and provide the medical necessary services that they need.
Definitely take the stress off of the business and more focus on the patients at the end of the day,
Absolutely.
the core
Absolutely.
area. Right? And so, Kirsten, when you start working with a customer, right, you're coming in the door for the first time. What are typically some of the issues that you're seeing that you're identifying quickly that, yeah, no, this is exactly where we need to jump in? What are the common areas that you see a lot of these clinic owners struggling in their day to day?
The biggest thing is, like I said, liquidity issues, cash flow crisis, and just payroll panic, struggling with, being able to take care of their bills on time. And a lot of it has to do with organization, right? Organization, making sure personal things are out of their chart of accounts, making sure, any additional entities are out of their chart of accounts. That way we can focus on exactly what we need to, right? And we can build some predictability from that.
Definitely. Definitely. And so when you start working with these customers, I mean, you're looking at it from a whole picture of trying to get them, like you said, I mean, there's a lot of problems that you need to get them financially stable with in all these different areas. When it comes to the tech systems, right? I mean, we're talking about AI systems now in today's world. I mean, you're working with us definitely on the AI bookkeeping side. Where do you see the biggest like benchmark or new marker that's coming into play now that AI is available? How do you see that impacting so many of these different owners of these clinics?
Well, in this space, it's a huge amount of concern when it comes to ethics, right? And when it comes to AI, are we using AI in an ethical way? And that's what I like about Uplink, because there's a huge amount of focus on human oversight and not just depending on AI. And so when you have human oversight, it leads to relationship building, right? And it's the difference between software as a service and software and a service, right? And it leads to better outcomes. And in this society today, we are screaming for human connection, right? And that's what we're missing. And I think that's what a lot of software companies are missing is that connection piece, that human interaction. And so that's what I like about and appreciate about Uplink as much as I do, because it's a huge focus on that human oversight.
Definitely, definitely. And I mean, especially coming from your side, when you're working with these customers, it's not just about give me data, right? They're coming to you. They usually have a problem, right? They're worried about, as
Absolutely.
you say, you gave the payroll example, all these different things. There's something to the level of having that human input, that relationship layer that helps so much more than just saying, hey, this is done quick and easy, right? It's supporting it with, hey, this was done quick and easy, but let me talk you through what this now means for you, where you're able to take the business, all those different pieces. And that's where you come in so strong, right? Is now that we got that foundational layer of financials met in there, now it's where can we take you next, right? Where can we grow the business? Where can we focus and double down on? And so tell me a little bit more kind of on when you're advising these clinics, what does that relationship actually look like from you? I mean, we've talked about getting the financials in order, but what does that actually mean for you now that the financials are in order with these clinics?
Well, it means a lot. I mean, ultimately, the relationship builds the trust that you need in the space of just client, B2B sales. But the biggest thing is going to be, the impact and the predictability that leads to value creation, right? And so that's huge, right? Because when you start using capital as a mechanism just to survive, but it leads to more of creating value.
Definitely, exactly. And so as you guys are growing and you're I mean growing your own business, you're helping these other clinic owners grow too as well. What does the service look like when they're working with you? What's the engagement look like on your side to actually work with them? Is this a long-term play? Is it short-term? Like where does it really fit in when you guys are actually growing your business?
It's definitely a long-term play. Sometimes I do get some customers that come in for a short financial assessment, but for the most part, it's trust building, it's relationship building, it's long-term commitments, especially when we are in the weed of things, right? We're having a cash flow crisis. We're trying to figure out a way to overcome the obstacles. And, we're getting hit from everything, right? We got payroll coming up. We got all these things coming up, all these operating expenses coming up. And it just gets to a point where clinic owners feel alone, you know? And so they need someone that can support them, that can listen to their struggles. They need someone that can just hear them out. And so if they don't have any trust, right, it's going to be some issues. And those long-term commitments end up short-term commitments.
And so Kurston, I mean, we're looking at these long-term commitments, and something that I think intrigues me is you come into the business to usually solve a very direct problem, right? There's something that's bad that's going on that you're trying to diagnose, trying to solve in this world on their side. When it starts to go to that more long term, what does that actually mean for the clinic owner that after they've worked with you, we've gotten through these problems, we've set these plans in place? What is the change that you notice in these businesses? Are they growing more? Are they opening more clinics? Are they just better prepared? What do you see the, lack for a better term, the vibe of the person who's owning the clinic? How do you see them change in the long
It's
term?
kind of interesting because they start off, right? And I work with a lot of behavior analysts. And so they have the skills in regards to looking at charts, right? Looking at intervention plans and how they affect behavior. And we do the same thing, right? But when it comes to finances, because they went to school all their lives to do what? Be a scientist, right? And so the finance just makes them, just drop. Their mind just drops. But at the end of the day, they start looking at it in the same behavioral way that they look at clients' behaviors. And if we can bridge that gap, clinic owners are now saying, you know what I did in April, the intervention is not working. So we have to do something different. And that's the strategic process of having clean books, being able to see, right, and trust the numbers so you can be strategic, right? And you can pivot at the necessary times.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, Kirsten, I appreciate all those thoughts. One last question that I'll have for you. So, I mean, we've been engaged with the partnership. Things have been going very, very well. We absolutely appreciate all the work and the growth that you're on to as well. Who do you believe is the right partners for us at Uplink, knowing that we're not just that AI company, right? We still have that human component. Who do you believe that we would make good partnerships with, not only just yourself, but broader on our sense?
Absolutely. I mean, honestly, everyone, right? Everyone that has a business, if you're a business owner and you are handling everything, you're doing finance, you're doing marketing, you're doing operating, you need a partner that you can rely on to help ensure that you are making the proper decisions. And we are making data driven decisions instead of being in constant chaos. And so I think if we have small business owners that are taking care of their books and they're partnering with Uplink, right? It leads to sustainability.
Definitely. Definitely. Well, Carson, much appreciate the time. I'm so excited for the partnership that we've been able to build on our side and very excited for what the future holds here.
I'm like an offensive guy, offensive lineman type of guy. And you guys made a post the other day about offense after the Super Bowl. And, we're both in the protection business, right? I went from protecting QBs to protecting, business owners. So I love that about Uplink. That post that you guys put, man, it really pumped me up.
Beautiful. Love it. Well, Carson, much appreciate the time. Look forward to what the future brings and can't wait to see what's next around the horizon. Appreciate it so much.
Absolutely. Take care.
Beautiful.